Jesus also said, "This is what the kingdom of God is like. A man throws seed on the land, night and day, while he sleeps, when he is awake. The seed is sprouting and growing. How, he does not know. Of its own accord the land produces first the shoot, then the ear, then the full grain in the ear. And when the crop is ready, he loses no time. He starts to reap because the harvest has come." He also said, "What can we say the kingdom of God is like? What parable can we find for it? It is like a mustard seed, which at the time of its sowing in the soil is the smallest of all the seeds on earth. Yet once it is sown, it grows into the biggest shrub of them all, and puts out big branches, so that the birds of the air can shelter in its shade." Using many parables like these, he spoke the word to them so far as they were able to understand it. He would not speak to them except in parables, but he explained everything to his disciples when they were alone. So what does the kingdom of God mean to you, to me, in our land today? How does the kingdom of God get established and then flourish? In the first parable, the man sows the seed, and everything happens from there on, almost automatically. So God has actually sown this seed. God sent his son Jesus to establish the kingdom here among us. However, as followers of Jesus, we also need to sow seeds. Now, this might not be going out and preaching on street corners, or it might be, who knows. More likely it will be the way you and I behave with those around us, in our families, in our workplaces, in response to things that are happening in the community. People looked at the first Christians and said, "See how they love one another." And that needs to be our hallmark too. The second parable is very interesting. The mustard seed is one of the smallest of seeds, and Jesus says that it grows into a shrub which then gets big branches and the birds roost in the branches. But botanical people will tell you that that is not how mustard grows. Mustard is a herbaceous plant, and the one that Jesus talked about is this plant. And true, it's got very small seeds, and true, it grows very quickly. And it has lots of leaves, but it doesn't grow into a tree with branches. So the birds would not be able to roost in it. So the people hearing this parable from Jesus would be saying, "What's he talking about?" And then maybe light would begin to dawn. This thing, this state called the kingdom of God, is so tremendous and so pervasive that it will spread to the ends of the earth, and people will be able to shelter in its branches. It's a wonderful image. In our church today, there are people of many nationalities and many ethnicities. We are all under the same church roof, so to speak. We are all sheltering in the same mustard tree. And we are all assured of God's love. So I ask myself, how do I treat this person who's sitting next to me, or maybe two along from me in the pew, who I don't really know and I don't really want to make much of an effort to know? How do I respond to refugees who come to our land and are seeking a home, and maybe it feels as if they're taking our jobs? How do I respond when new people come into our church community? Do I welcome them? Do I go out of my way to see if they need any help? Do I visit the shut-ins in my parish? All this is part of establishing the kingdom of God. Let's be energetic about this as Jesus has invited us to be.